Hello and welcome to our English lesson. I hope you are okay, Marcela, Anna, yeah. And where are you, Anna? Why you didn't leave message? Just joking. So let's go. Okay, so we're gonna begin now our English lesson. Okay, so don't forget that. Okay, we begin now at 7 o'clock, and today we have like a special lesson. Okay, we have normally, following the book, and then we're gonna have something special in the middle, and then in the end we have the homework as always. Okay. Hello and welcome to our wait a English minute. Lesson. Okay, so just a second. You are okay. So don't forget. Okay, and as you could see, I don't know if you could see on the app. Yeah, there is three files today that you can download. Okay, number one is from our lesson normally, and the next two, okay, they are like special activities, like very beautiful, actually very well done, and with some pictures. One is about Zeus, yeah, like the history of Zeus, like where he was born and how was that, and the other one is some interesting facts in the old Greek history. Okay, so please enjoy that and let it go. Okay, and now I'm gonna go over the lesson, and then of course, if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, so let's go. One, two, three. Our English lesson. Okay, so as we always do, we're gonna move on our Greek history. Okay, and today, as you can see on this side, on my right side, okay, we have the ancient Greek beliefs. Okay, so just follow me and let it go. Okay, pay attention on the pronunciation because today we're gonna have a lot of gods, Greek gods names. Okay, and then some of them are really interesting. Okay, so let it go. And we begin with ancient Greek beliefs. Remember that this word beliefs, let me get something here. This word here, beliefs, okay? This is like a noun, like it's something that how can I say that? This is not a verb, it's not, it is different from believe, for example, I believe in something, like you somehow you believe, you think that is true, but belief is something that you have, it's not that you do. Okay, so this is a noun, but anyway, let's go on that. So as you can see here, you follow me. Religious beliefs were central to people's lives in ancient Greece. The Greeks believed that the gods controlled the world, so they worshipped them and tried to keep them happy. Check it out, this word, worshipped. Okay, as you can see, this word is conjugated in the past. Okay, so just pay attention on that. Okay, because this is something that we're gonna learn later. Okay, just to have an idea, when you have this word worship, it means that if you worship something, it means that you adore, like you really like that thing, you believe in that thing. For you, it is something very important, and it's part of your life. So that is why we use this word worship. Okay, but make a note of that because we're gonna check it out that later. Moving on. And gods on earth. So let's learn, about their history here in this planet. And the ancient Greeks believed in many different gods and goddesses. Okay, goddesses, gods and goddesses. Pay attention to something really cool. Gods and goddesses. Okay, this is the male, yeah, and this is the female. The boy version and the female version. But check it out, something cool. They they are written with lowercase letter. They are, how can I say? Normally, when we talk about God, yeah, if you, it doesn't matter the language. Normally, when you're gonna mention God, the one God, normally we write it with capital letter, right? But in this case here, it's lowercase letter. So there is a meaning for that. Okay, but anyway, so moving on. And every god was believed to be responsible for a different part of life. Greek people would pray to different gods depending on the kind of a help that they needed. So that is the first thing that we have to analyze. So what is the difference? What is the main difference from now? From the faith that we believe, that we do, that we profess, okay, and from this one. The first, that they had many different gods, so depending on what you wanted, depending on what kind of wish you have, you would pray for a specific God. Okay, so that is the first thing. There was not only one God, but many different gods. Okay, so let's move on. Going down a little here. And the gods were believed to be immortal. I mean, they would not die and have supernatural powers. But according to the Greek myths, they also fell in love, had children, thought, and argued, just like humans. So check it out something here. Number one, they were immortal. I mean, they would never die. Okay, so that's a very, I mean, well-known specific characteristic of a god. Okay, but okay, second one, supernatural powers. Supernatural powers, they are powers that, you know, they overcome the natural things. Okay, for example, I'm gonna give an example of something naturally. Okay, strength. Yeah, normally a normal human being cannot, like, I don't know, put up, like, think about like a truck, for example, you know, something really really heavy. Yeah, you know, so supernatural powers is powers that it's out of what we understand as normal. You know, they overcome, they are more powerful than the normal one. Okay, so that is the first thing. And I mean, first, I mean the second one, yeah, supernatural. It, thinking about that power, right? Supernatural power is something that it goes out, you know, like it is pointed out of our reality. You know, it's something that it's outside of our reality. That is the basic definition of that. Okay, and I mean, moving on, myths, as I told you, like it comes from mythology. Okay, so it's something that people said something about, you know, like it is in our history, but we are not sure if it's real or not, you know. For example, it is different, something like, okay, let's talk about the history of, I don't know, like Christ, for example. Yeah, is it a myth? Is it a real story? I mean, did he really live here, you know, in our planet, for example? That is the question, right? So there are some proofs, yeah, that Christ lived here. Real, I mean, not only because of, not only in the religious part, but also if you talk to archaeologists, or you know, and people who really study that, I mean, using scientific things, yeah, they're gonna tell you that, oh, we have found some little things, you know, some artifacts that shows that there was a man in this specific moment in history that was called Jesus Christ, something like that, and then he was really there. You know, even though you don't search on the religious part, in the other side, like in the scientific side, it is also possible to find some, you know, some proof, something that that man really existed. Okay, so that is about history. And myth, it's kind of a similar, but the difference that myth, I mean, you have no proof, you know, all you have is just like, maybe yes, maybe no, people say about that, you know, but I don't know. I've never seen, there is no artifact, there is nothing that can prove. I mean, it doesn't matter if it is scientific or not scientific, but there is nothing. It's just kind of a history, not history, but story that people say. Okay, so that is the difference. And I mean, and here they said that they fell in love and had children. So, and fought and argued. Yeah, remember that argued is like having a discussion. So they were kind of a different gods. Yeah, like even though they were gods, they had, like, they lived in a way that we live. You know, like they had problems. They fell in love. They get married. Yeah, and which is very different from the Christian religion, right? But interesting point, right? So moving on. Let's go down here. Just a second. And so the gods were said to live on Mount Olympus in Greece. So that's where the place where they live. Yeah, like that's the area, Mount Olympus in Greece. Okay, and moving on, let's go for the family affair. Remember that when we talk about family affair, yeah, it's like some family problems, let's say. Yeah, like just remember, yeah. And even though they were gods, they had some, yeah, they had a wife, they had families, they did something here. And then let's get into that. So all the Greek gods, actually, of all the Greek gods. Zeus, of all the Greek gods, Zeus was the most powerful. He ruled the rest of the gods from his throne on Mount Olympus. The rest of the gods were members of Zeus' family. Athena, the goddess who gave her name to Athens, the city, yeah, that's why the city has that name, because it came from the goddess, was a daughter of Zeus, yeah, a daughter of Zeus. Athena was believed, take a look on that. Athena was believed to have been born from Zeus' head, like, she was born from Zeus' head. Crazy that. And after Zeus asked Hephaestus, Hephaestus, that's the name of the guy, to cut it open with an axe. So basically, Zeus asked another god, Hephaestus, to cut his head open, okay, like, just, I don't know why, using an axe, axe, okay, and then from that, uh, there was a new goddess, yeah, like she was born. Crazy, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. But that is the believed story. And then here we have some names. Yeah, we have some god names. So I'm gonna read them, and then let's see if we understand that. Okay, so we begin with Zeus. Yeah, like the king of the god. He was the master, right? Hera was queen of the gods. Yeah, obvious. If Zeus was the king and she was the queen, so we believe that they were kind of a couple, right? And Poseidon, right, the god of the sea, very famous, especially in games, and and nowadays, actually, if you look into the Greek history, doesn't matter if it's like study or games, you're gonna see that, yeah, Poseidon. And Athena, the goddess of wisdom, right? So Athena, yeah, like that, as we could see here in the picture, yeah, she was one of the gods too. Ares, god of war. Oh, they had a god of war. Good, right? Apollo, god of music and light. Very interesting that. And Artemis, the goddess of the moon. Good. Aphrodite, the name Aphrodite, goddess of love. Hephaestus, god of fire. Dionysus, god of wine and theater. God of wine and theater. Crazy. And Hermes, the messenger of the gods. And Demeter, goddess of farming. Yeah, just so you know, farming is like plantation, like when you have like rice plantation, that kind of stuff, like farming, like the agricultural lifestyle. Okay, so they had a god for that too, that probably they ask help for. Yeah. And of course, as we can analyze here, there is this picture that we talk about today, but very interesting, right? So let's move on. Let's go to the next part. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Let me see if I can go here. Let's get the next picture. Just a second. Let's close it and let's open the next one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Let it go. Let's make it big. Okay, I hope you can see that. Very good. So this is the continuation of the study. Okay, so now we have like this, the second part, as we say. Okay, and we begin here, yeah, on the continuation of this study, which is every city in ancient Greece held its own religious festival throughout the year, and the rest of the time people worshipped at temples or at altars in their homes. Okay, temples, yeah, there is the picture here, it's possible to see, right? And altars, yeah, like altars normally is what you see inside of a church. Of course, yeah, we are talking about different kinds of altars, yeah, like depending on the religion, so depending on the religion that you have, so it's going to be a little bit different, but basically we're talking about the same thing. Okay, so when we say that every city in ancient Greece held, every city, like every city, they had their own, and they held it. They made it happen. Okay, so that's something interesting about that. And then, as you can see in the picture here, and then let's make a little reading. So one of the greatest temples was the temple of Apollo. at Delphi. Remember that the green writing is the name of the city. Its ruins can still be seen today. Greeks believed this holy site, take a look on that, very, very good word, holy, okay? This is a very important word because it changed the meaning, you know? It makes the meaning of the sentence actually change a little bit, okay? But check it out. So when we say something was holy, it means something was sacred, you know? Sacred. Sacred is that it, how can I say that? It has value, you know, it's something that is not for everybody, you know, it's something that really, it's meaningful for some culture, for some people, like that. And this holy site was the center of the world. It contained a theater, a stadium, and about 20 treasuries. Treasuries, yeah. Treasuries again is all these words. This here it's about value, yeah. Treasuries like treasure, as we see, it's like, for example, I'm gonna give a very simple definition of a treasure. Imagine pirates. They get a lot of gold, diamond, you know, like precious stuffs, and then they put everything, okay, into some box. I know some stuff, okay. let, let me get what is the name of that. Wait a minute, okay, to give you an idea. Just a second. Treasure chest, really? Is it a chest? They use it the name of chest too, you know. In Portuguese we say baú. Baú, chest. Chest, let me wooden. Let's see if it really works. Yeah. That's true, that's true. Old wooden chest box. It's okay. Então quando você quer falar baú, chest, okay, chest. But anyway, so treasure normally is when you put a lot of, you know, valuable stuffs into the chest, okay, and then I mean this we call treasure, tesouro, all right, okay, and then like 20 treasuries to hold gifts that people brought for Apollo, okay. So you know, it was like a temple of a god, so of course people worship at that, and people, okay, I believe in this god, so I go there, I pray and make my, and also they took, you know, like some gifts, some presents for them. That's why he had this thing here, okay. And then moving on, Judgment Day. The ancient Greeks believed that the dead went to an underworld, down, yeah, maybe is what we believe it's hell, I don't know, below the ground, which was ruled by Zeus' brother, the god Hades. Good, huh? Hades. This underworld was thought to be surrounded by rivers, and to reach it, you had to pay charon. It's like a kind of a tax that you pay, you know, not tax the car, but like a payment that you have to make to the government, something like that. But of course, here we are talking about like the underworld, like the dad's world, okay. So the ferryman, yeah, think about a ferryman. What is a ferryman? Yeah, imagine a man in a boat that makes the boat moving, yeah, like that. So this is the idea that you can have of a ferryman, yeah, and to take you across on his boat. So people were often buried with coins to pay charon, so that their souls wouldn't be stranded between life and death. Stranded is like locked, stuck there, okay. So this picture shows a Hades on his throne in the underworld. Check it out, this picture, right? So Hades in his underworld, like judging everybody. Yeah, so this is a little of Greek history. And check it out here, the last part. Say your prayers. The ancient Greek gods were well respected, although people didn't believe they had to live a good life to make them happy. People did expect harsh punishments. Sorry, punishments. When we say harsh punishment, it's like tough, you know, it was not like easy punishments. Like, okay, you did something wrong, so I don't know, like have to stay 1 day without getting out. No, it was like, you know, maybe things that could hurt them, okay? And if they made any of the gods angry, though, okay, so if you made something bad for the gods, you know, if you make the gods like, you know, like feel angry with you, so you're gonna have problems. So many stayed on their best behavior just in case. Behavior is your manner, is the way that you act, yeah, towards society. And behavior, the best translation for that is comportamento. Okay, so that is something that we have here. Okay, so I hope you have understood that. Okay, and of course I'm gonna add some videos on that, and we have more, but for now let's move on. Now, okay, I'm gonna show you, as you can see here, yeah, it's a little different, yeah, from the other materials. Okay, this is, let's take it as a bonus. Okay, so Tales of Terror, okay, from ancient Greece. Okay, so I'm gonna show you now two like the PDFs. I don't know how can I, two arts, yeah, okay, as we can say. I'm gonna read a little about that, and they're gonna be available for you to download it from the app, okay, from Kiwify. So that is gonna be like a present for you. Okay, so I'm gonna do the reading, okay, just so you have an idea what is that paper, and please check it out. That, okay, it's nice, it's cool, and it has like interesting information. So Tales of Terror. Remember, yeah, tales. It comes from fairy tale. Tale is a story. So let's begin here, okay? I'm gonna get closer a little, okay? And then we have this first one, which is Sea Trials. Take a look. We have some, what is that? Serpents, maybe? Some kind of a, not a dragon, right? Looks like a dragon, but more like a snake, something like that. So let's check it out. So, on Sea Trials, the monster Scylla and Charybdis and the hero Odysseus. And let's go for the story. The battle. On both sides of a narrow stretch of sea, monsters lie in wait. I mean, they're waiting there, and like on the sea. Remember, this is according to the Greek history, right? And on one side, Scylla and trashes around her six snake-like heads. Okay, so it's like a monster that has like six heads. Okay, and when we say snake-like, it means that they look like snake. Okay, so that is like a description of the thing. And ready to crunch on passing sailors, like sailors, people who has boat and like sailing, yeah, on the point. And on the other hand, Charybdis creates a deadly whirlpool. How can I explain that for you? Okay, imagine whirl like a strong wind that goes in circles. Okay, so that is the point. And pool, because it comes from water, right? So imagine like a storm, you know, like a twister, but in the water. Okay, and then no person has ever faced these beasts and escaped unharmed. Okay, unharmed, I mean with no hurt. Okay, when you are harmed means you were hurt. And then now the king Odysseus and his crew is the people who is with him, must pass them to get home. And they edge around Charybdis spiraling sea. Spiraling, it's in a shape of a spiral, you know, like something like that. Okay, and saving the ship from being swallowed whole. And but Scylla swoops down and gobbles up six men. You see, this is very strong. Raw. Odysseus shouts, letting the rest of the crew pass Scylla and out of the deadly channel. So having survived the dreaded beast, Odysseus and his men continue their journey. So that is a little of what you're gonna see in this part, okay? And as you can see here, we have some other, stories, which I'm gonna ask you to check on your own, okay? Because of my camera here, and then his history. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna read this one too for you. This is the Hydra. That's the name of the monster, and the hero is Heracles and the battle. So again, we give the name of the hero, we give the name of the monster, and then we talk a little about the story of the battle situation. Okay, so in a swamp creeps a deadly nine-headed serpent called the Hydra. Yeah, Hydra, I don't know how to say that. And killing it is one of 12 tasks Heracles, the son of Greek god Zeus, must complete to become immortal. So he was like in a, I don't know, in an adventure or something, like in a task that if he completed, he would become immortal. And after throwing flame spears at the beast, the Hydra attacks, so Heracles hits its head with a club, but more grow in their place. You see, even though Heracles cut like the serpent head, another one would grow in its place. Crazy, right? Crazy. And Heracles' friend Lolos then leaps to his aid. Remember that this, sorry, not aid, but aid, yeah? When we have this word aid, it means help, okay? So if we have here Heracles' friend Lolos, that guy, that's the name of the guy, leaps to his aid with a flaming torch, which means that the man went to Heracles' direction to help you. That's why we have aid, okay? And with a flaming torch, as we can see in the picture, I guess. And after an epic battle, the men finally destroyed the Hydra. Okay, so it's just some of the stories that you're gonna be able to see on this thing. Okay, it's crazy, it's really cool. And then I'm gonna ask you to also read that. Okay, check it out, the words that you don't know, research that. If by any chance you, I don't know, you don't get anything on like on Google or I don't know in anything like anywhere that you go for, so just ask me that they're gonna help you. Okay, so that is the first one, and I'm gonna show you more. Let's go. Let me close this one, and this is the second picture. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. This is about the Greek myths. Okay, again, all of them into the Greek history. All right, so let's go for that. Okay, I'm gonna get closer a little. Zeus, the king of the gods. Let me open that a little, and then follow me. So let me get just a second. Some of the world's most exciting myths and legends came from ancient Greece. Incredibly, stories of gods, goddesses, heroes, and monsters have survived for thousands of years, and these tales from Greek mythology are still as thrilling today. So Angie Kids dives into the treasure of Greek mythology and uncovers the amazing story of the king of all Greek gods, Zeus. Okay, so in this paper here, you're gonna have a glimpse, you're gonna have an idea, a little bit about Zeus. You're like, who was that god? You're like, we know that he's the god of the goddess, but okay, what is the point? I mean, where was he born? How did it come to life, right? So we're gonna read a little, and then of course the rest, it's up to you guys. Okay, so let's go. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And just a second. Okay, let's go. And Zeus ruled over all the other gods and goddesses of ancient Greece, but he had to defeat his father Cronus to gain power. Years before, Cronus had swallowed Zeus' brother and sisters, Hestia, Poseidon, Hades, Demeter, and Hera, until they were rescued. The siblings banded together against Cronus and his brothers and sisters, called the Titans. This is the story of their epic battle. Okay, so that's how it happened. And then war began and continued as wars will do. For 10 years the battle scorched the earth, smoked the skies, and sullied the waters. Bitter as bile, each wore away at everyone's spirits, until Gaia, the Earth Mother who had started all life, told Zeus he would win if he liberated her other children. His misshapen uncles and his one-eyed uncles, all cast by his father Cronus into the underworld. So he would have to, like to kind of a rescue, to save his brothers, yeah, in order to have chance to win that battle. And Zeus never wasted a moment on second thoughts. He freed the three brothers with 50 heads and 100 hands each. He freed the three Cyclops, giants, each of whom had a single eye. And then we move on the story. Okay, this English here is a little bit high the level. Okay, even though if you read it carefully, like slowly, you don't need to hurry to do that. Okay, so that's not so complicated. Okay, so please, this is one of the homeworks. We have these 2 pages. I'm gonna ask you to read that, go over, check it out, the words. If you don't know, you ask me out. Okay, but if you do, if you understand that, so go over that, try to get as much as possible. And then of course, when I say make, write it down. Okay, a little explanation about how was Zeus' life. Okay, and the little of the other of the other paper, which is this, the tails. Yeah, let me show you that again. All these tails here that we have here. Okay, just give me a short explanation, like what did you learn from that? What kind of experience did you have here? Okay, what is that? Like serpents and trials? What is that? And there's a picture here, like a crazy picture of a ox head with a man's body. Like what is that? You know? So just check it out that, and then you give me the answer later. All right? So for today, that's it. Okay, so please check it out and let's move on. Okay, so today, yeah, as you know, our lesson is going to be divided in 3 parts. The first one, the student book. We have this extra, yeah, that is going to be available with the materials, and then we have the homework part. Okay, so thanks and see you. Bye bye. Let's move on. Okay, now we're gonna work on the homework. Okay, so let's go. And as you can see here, okay, we are moving on the activity. Again, remember, yeah, the homework is always the same as the activity book. Okay, so ancient Greeks beliefs. So number 1, what do we have to do here? Let's check it out. The ancient Greeks didn't believe their gods were perfect, so the gods were thought to have special powers, but they were also seen as a family who behaved just like humans. Remember that I told you, right? The first difference between like the Greek gods, for example, and the one God that we believe, yeah, is that they acted like humans. And for example, in the Christian religion, it's a little different, right? Like it's not really like human way of living. Okay, and then here we have the first activity. Read about the ancient Greek gods on page 20 of your study book. So write down 2 similarities and 2 differences between the Greek gods and humans. Okay, so that is the first thing that you have to do. In the first box, similarities, and the second one, differences. Okay, so you student, you write it down here, put the answer. Okay, again, you can check it out on your student book, you know, like check it out. You can ask me if you want, but please do that for me. Okay, and that's the first one. Moving on, this is the second activity. Ancient Greek cities were often linked to a Greek god or goddess. Remember, don't forget that, yeah? God and goddess. What is the difference? Male and female. Okay? So the Greeks thought that their city's god or goddess protected them. Take a look on that. Their city's god. So, I mean, of course, we cannot only emphasize like, okay, every city had a god, okay, but they had a specific god, or maybe, I don't know, they wanted specific god to protect specific city, okay? That's one big difference, yeah, from the God that we believe we do, okay? So what you have to do here is, do you think people only worship, remember worship, like adorate, okay, their city's God or goddess? Circle your answer in the sentence below, then explain why you think this. So do you think people only worship their city's God? What is the point of that? Remember, if you study Greek history, as we have been studying, yeah, we had different gods like Zeus, Poseidon, Artemis, you know, like all of them. So the question here is, for example, people who belonged for one city, did they worship only that specific god that was related to the city, or no? They worshiped maybe more than 1, 2, 3. For example, we had the god of the gods, right, which was Zeus. So give me your opinion about that. And the way that you have to begin is following this. So if you agree, if you believe, so you put I do, and then you give your explanation. If you don't, we have a point here. I don't think people only worship their city's god or goddess because, I don't know, for example, because in my opinion, as they had a lot of gods and blah blah blah. Okay, so just give your opinion on that. All right, so that is the first part of the homework. So let's go to the second one. I'm gonna close here very quickly, and let's open the second one. Okay, go on. This is the second part. I'm gonna make it bigger. Okay, and let's go. I hope you can see that. So moving on. Number 3. Imagine you are an ancient Greek. Write the name of the god or goddess you would pray to in each of the situations below. For example, we have the situation here. Okay, let's underline that thing. Okay, this is the situations. For example, number 1, you are going on a fishing trip, or you are worried about fighting a battle, and then so on. So what god name would you go on? of course, yeah, for you to answer that, yeah, you have to make a little research. So research, for example, what kind of gods did we have in the Greek history? And then you search for that, for example, and what they were most, I don't know, like related to, okay, and then you put the name here, okay? I'm just gonna read for you just to have an idea. You want a concert to go well. Remember that concert is like a show, yeah, it's like something that you're gonna present, okay? And you need help with a romantic problem. Oh, that's a good one, right? No? Okay, and you want your crops to grow well. Again, when we say about crop, it's about farming, okay? Plantation. So this is something think about and then answer that for me. And then the last one is like a short essay. Remember, essay is like a writing. So in your own words, explain how Athena was born. Remember, we saw that in the first page. Remember that we were looking for? And then there was a picture of Zeus, Hephaestus, and Athena. So then there was a little explanation how she was born. So this is the thing. Go there, check it out, and write for me using your own words, but English, because that is the point. Okay? So, and we have one more. Oh my God. And number 5, explain how historians know that Apollo was important in ancient Greece. Again, it is the same. On the study book, on the pages that we have been to, okay, we had there the explanation. Okay, so historians, as they were studying, like they went to artifacts or something like that, yeah, they got some possible informations explaining that question. So your goal, like your job is go there, check it out and give me that, okay? Of course, remember that all the answer has to be written on your notebook, okay? So write it and send the picture to me, okay? So that is the point. And of course, if by any chance you have no notes, you can do that on your smartphone, but I prefer it's better on notebook, okay? So that's it, that's the homework, and then see you guys soon, okay? Have a good time and bye bye.